In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you complete information, what reasons are considered compelling and compassionate, some scenarios which can be your family scenario, and on my laptop, step by step, at the end, I'm going to show you how do you upload document and what conditions you can choose for your appropriate scenario. So stick around till the end and make sure you make best use of it. There's no second chance. Press release from the Department of Home Affairs has released a statement saying the temporary visa holders who have been affected because of the COVID-19 outbreak can apply for consideration to re-enter Australia for compassionate and compelling reasons. Now, what reasons are considered as compassionate or compelling reason? Okay, so this is not for people who have been granted a visa, who are waiting to get a visa, who will get a visa. So this is for people who have already lived here for a considerable period of time, and for some circumstance, maybe you have a marriage, you visited some family, or you were on a vacation somewhere, you had gone for an official work, and you have family left here. Imagine the husband has traveled outside Australia, the family, children, wife, every parents, they still remain here. So that is a compelling, compassionate reason for you to explain that I was out of Australia, I was overseas for this particular reason, and now I want to go back to my family. My family is suffering. They don't have an income. So these are compelling, compassionate reasons. Or if you are here, if you're the sole breadwinner and your kids and family are overseas, then in that case, that is also a scenario where you can say as compassionate and compelling. So always, most of the family, children, spouse, relationship related issues are considered under the compassionate and compelling reasons, and they're very clearly mentioned that it is not always assured that it will be granted. It will be assessed on a case-to-case basis. So you are expected to provide your personal information, your visa information, and the reason with supporting evidence. So if you say you have a family living there, you have to provide evidences in the form of your lease agreement, in the form of any document that you'd provide to the immigration department to prove your stay. You would have to prove. So the documents is very, very crucial when it comes to providing compelling and compassionate reason. First thing, so these are my personal suggestions, because I will show you the step-by-step how to apply. But in terms of permanent residency or any visa, when you apply, the first thing you have to do is prove your relationship. So when you call someone a spouse, so you will have to show them your marriage certificate. The more documents, always the better. That's always been my strategy. That's always been the strategy I've advised to people whom I know, that there should not be any question in the mind of the case officer. It's as simple as that. So you can provide as many extra additional documents, but relevant documents. Don't just keep junk documents and confuse the case officer. So make sure you're very clear. So what is your intention? So first thing, we have to bring our family. For example, you live here, your family is abroad. So you provide evidence that that particular person is your spouse or your wife or your husband and your children. So you will have your birth certificate with parents' name. So proof of relationship, first thing. And the reason for their travel should be the proof that you have to provide as the second document. And third thing, maybe a cover letter. I always use cover letter to convey what I want to convey. So a very compelling cover letter saying this is the reason it was very crucial for them to travel, and they traveled, or we traveled together, and you can say that now we really want to come back to our house, we want to start working again, and we are going through financial hardships. Whatever be the situation, just be genuine and honest with the department. I've always emphasized this. If you're very honest, if you're genuine, then you're not going to have any issues. So don't take it as a loophole and try to do anything during this time. That could be the worst thing that you can do to yourself. So make sure you stick to the rules. Do not breach any of your conditions. And this is like a real opportunity that the government is providing for people who have been genuinely affected and who want to come back to their family to be reunited and live together in Australia. So please make best use of this opportunity being given and do not misuse. All right, I hope this information was helpful. Now I'm going to be showing you step by step on my laptop how do you apply. All right, guys. So this is the inquiry form, which will allow you to contact the department about travelers who have been affected. So This is under three conditions: if you are an immediate family member of an Australian citizen or a permanent resident. So, whom do they mean by immediate family members? It could be spouse, de facto partners, dependent children, and legal guardians. And the second thing is what we discussed today: compelling or compassionate reason to travel to Australia urgently and believe they meet a departure travel restriction exception. So, this is for government officials, a specific group of people like medical services who can travel. So, all you have to do here is you can read the privacy statement and then agree to it. You can read the department security statement and agree. And this is where you choose what is your status. So, if you're an Australian citizen, obviously you have no dramas, permanent resident, New Zealand citizens, no drama. So if you have an immediate family member or if you have a compelling reason, I'm going to choose this option for now because this is what we're discussing now. So you have to read the complete information. For temporary visa applicants, there are limited circumstances that should be considered compassionate or compelling. And if you buy an air ticket, it is not an evidence of compelling or compassionate. So that's what they're saying. It's not assured, but it will be definitely considered case to case. And we will not respond if we determine that there are not sufficient compelling or compassionate reasons to prioritize. So they are using the word prioritize, they are using the word urgent here because it shows that if you have a real emergency, if you're genuinely suffering in that case, so please make best use of it in a genuine manner. So do you hold an Australian visa to travel? If you have a genuine visa, say yes. And this is where you get to give your reasons. So this is where you can say this is the, so it has to be really strong, worded really strong and powerful to explain what is your compelling reason. And then these are whatever is marked with an asterisk is compulsory, mandatory, and intended travel. They do not corner them by just giving them 2 days time. So give them enough time, say a week or 10 days, for example, a week or two, and then just say it's only intended. So you don't buy a ticket and show them as proof. So if you get the outcome, if you get an response from the immigration department, probably you'll travel within 10 days. Okay. So, and then choose your current location, whichever country you are now at the moment. There's also the list of countries you have been in the last 14 days. This, I would assume it would include the transit as well. So please list out all the countries that you've been in the last 14 days. If you're just stuck in your house, just use the country where you are. So your first name, your family name, your Australian address, because this is not for people who are traveling for the first time. I made it very clear. So your Australian address here, your date of birth, your Australian phone number, email address, and country of residence. So usually, even if you're on a 489, your usual country of residence is Australia. And if previous email tracking number, if you've already sent an email or an inquiry, you would be given a tracking number. So if it's not, that's why it's not marked an asterisk. It's only for few people where it is applicable. And this is where your document upload comes. So you've got an identifier type. So this is where you prove, say for example, your TRN, it will be there in your visa, the transaction reference number, your file number will be there in your visa. So they have given the example formats here of how file number looks like, how an application ID looks like. So if you look at your visa outcome, you will get these reference number. So write the date of the application that's been submitted and what was the reference number. So this should be pretty easy. If you want 2 or 3, you can just add and do that. If you don't want, you can just cancel this off. And this is where your passport number comes. Make sure you enter this right: passport number, country of passport, and if any information, if you say your passport expired, you applied for a new passport, you've updated this sheet, but it's not been reflected, whatever be the information, just you can add additional information. Or if you had a new passport, just add an information here. So just add notes so they know what is happening. And this is where you provide your supporting documents. Like I said, you can support your claim with a cover letter which strongly explains the scenario, the proof of your travel. So why did you travel at all? So if you say marriage, then attach a marriage invitation. If someone unfortunately passed away, so you might have the death certificate or anything and everything officially. Or if you're traveling, you might have the meeting details. So anything those documents provide here. In terms of relationship, you have to prove your relationship with marriage certificate, birth certificate, be it anything. All right. So I hope this is very simple, very straightforward. They've made it as simple as possible to gather genuine information, just to the point, your personal information. What is your current status? And what is the proof that you need to come back? Is it compelling? Is it compassionate? So think twice before you do this whole form. And if you have any doubts, feel free to leave a comment below and I will respond to you as soon as possible. I wish you all good luck and I'm happy to share at least some kind of good news amidst this chaos and uncertainty. And I honestly pray and hope that this phase shall pass very soon. So stay strong, stay blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.